This has Miami Heat fans fired up, as one of the younger, brighter pieces on this Miami Heat squad was just extended and possibly given even a bigger role going into his third NBA season. I'm here to break down how Nikola Jovic earned this new contract extension and how this could really propel this Miami Heat team going forward, not only through this next season, but the seasons coming following that. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Heat Digest, but first, please do remember to scroll down and click that subscribe button, as nearly 80% of you guys watching this video are not currently subscribed to the channel. We do appreciate the love and support, so thank you guys, but now let's get to it and break down how Jovic's breakout season is inbound, and we need it desperately down here in Miami. Now, not because he has been underwhelming or because he has simply just not answered the call up to this point, or because of the lack of offensive production or really talent in general in Miami, because there are a lot of check marks across the board for the talent in Miami, from top to bottom, whether you want to take into account the injuries and who's still remaining active despite those injuries and being absent. Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero, and obviously Jimmy Butler no longer being available. This Miami Heat team is still very, very well put together, not only because of the new acquisitions in Norman Powell and Andrew Wiggins and others, but also the young talent in Jovic, Jaquez, Ware, Larson. These guys are going to be a part of this Miami Heat organization for a long time, and players like Nikola Jovic are going to have ample amount of opportunity to be the centerpiece for this Miami Heat team. Genuinely, not only on the offensive end, but having the ability and having the potential to improve their defensive side of the ball to then be the overall star player for this Miami Heat team. Now, you may be questioning, Houston, how is Nikola Jovic, and why would Nikola Jovic even come remotely close to being the star player in Miami with the collection of talent that is already assembled, that has been there in the league and proven themselves up to this point in their careers, like Bam Adebayo, like Tyler Hero, like Andrew Wiggins, Norman Powell, and obviously Kel'el Ware, who has the most potential on the team because of his size and his overall abilities on the basketball floor on both the offensive and defensive side. Well, Jovic is now going into his, fourth season in the association, and we've seen progression year after year after year across the board for his game, not only in the points scored, but also in the sense of the ability to facilitate the basketball, the ability to rebound missed shots on the defensive end, and then bring the ball up the floor effectively and getting the job done, initiating the offense, looking to score himself, while also improving his ability to catch and shoot the basketball from anywhere on the floor, while also maintaining a lot of size, length, and stature that results in him giving him the ability to drive to the lane and being competitive despite not having the biggest physique in the league. Now, what have we seen from Jovic? Well, outside of everything we just covered, and last year obviously having his best statistical season up to this point, at least in points scored per game at just under 11, we also have seen him play in the Euro Basketball League, especially this past summer, where he stayed ready, without a doubt. He was averaging roughly 18 points per game through these games that he played, but the biggest takeaway is not only the points he's scoring, but how efficiently he's doing it. If you look at some of these shot percentages, and I will admit, some of them are not great. He had one or two games where he couldn't find the bottom of the basket, and this happens in the game of basketball, regardless if you're playing in the association against the best pros in the world, or if you're playing against a handful of the best pros in the world and some other FIBA guys on the Euro League basketball scene. But again, you had one where he did go 0 for 3. Again, he only took 3 shots. But then in these other games, 7 of 13, 4 of 8, 4 of 7, 6 of 6, 6 of 8. And if you look at the two-point shooting, yes, dominantly from the two-point side of things and not really living outside the three-point arc. But if you look at the three-point shooting, he has also done a damn good job of not only getting up good shots and good looks, but knocking them down and being efficient in doing so. Again, to read off some of the numbers, from the three-point line specifically, 3 of 4, 2 of 2, didn't make any because he didn't take any, 0 of 3, and that was again the game he went 4 of 7 in, 2 of 3, and then 4 of 9. He, for the entirety of these games in the EuroLeague, shot 11 of 21 from behind the three-point line. If Jovic is even relatively close to these numbers in the regular season for the Miami Heat, playing more of a point forward for this Miami Heat organization. He is going to be leaps and bounds better than anything we have seen up to this point in his career. And I'm talking averaging 15 to 18 points per game while facilitating the basketball at a pretty high clip, an efficient clip at that, despite the position he is going to play and the role he plays on this Miami Heat team. Look for maybe 3 to 5 assists per game while rebounding the basketball at a very high level on a team that is going to maintain great abilities to rebound the basketball both offensively and defensively because of the size that they maintain. Andrew Wiggins, a plus side rebounder. Norman Powell, he's not the greatest rebounder, 2.5 to 4 per game, but again, as a shooting guard slash small forward, you will take it, especially when he's playing alongside players like Bam Adebayo and Kel'el Ware and Jaime Jaquez Jr. and these other guys that have a very profound knack to rebound the basketball. I think he's going to fit in greatly. I think he is in a really, really good spot. And obviously, the Miami Heat organization saw what Jovic has done year after year after year through his short but very, very productive 3-year career up to this point. As Shams reported that Jovic did just get extended. Obviously, he was on a rookie deal up to this point in his career. Where did I just put that? Where'd it go? There it is. So he was entering the final year of his contract, which again was a club option for $4.4 million. And obviously Miami jumped at the bit, did not let him finish out this final year of his career, and took care of Nikola Jovic. And this makes a lot of sense. We know the Miami Heat and the way their payroll is broken down in the sense of team structure and the payroll across the board for this roster is depleted in the sense that after this season that we're about to walk into in the following week or so, there's not a lot of guys under contract outside of Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Andrew Wiggins, and a few other guys that are on rookie deals. Jovic is now going to be extended for the next 4 seasons following the season that we're currently about to walk into. So next 5 seasons. And it's great because they got him at a pretty good price tag at 15.6 AAV, the average value per season, and it goes to a total of 4 years for $62.4 million. For someone who's going into his age 23 season, Jovic couldn't have asked for much more, especially for someone whose best year through his 3-year career was a 10-point or just under 7 or 11 point per game season. This is a home run of a signing for the Miami Heat, but also for Jovic being taken care of and giving the opportunity that, hey, this Heat team, this organization has trust in you. Heat Nation, the fan base, adores you, and they think that you have the abilities to be special. Now, we've known how the Miami Heat organization has felt about Jovic and other young players a part of this Heat organization, so it should be no surprise and be really looked at as just a matter of time until this actually happened. As back when Kevin Durant and all these major blockbuster names were being thrown around the trade market earlier this free agency period in this offseason in general, Jovic was one of the few players named untouchable for this Miami Heat organization because of what they knew they had, especially in the sense of contract and not having to break the bank to extend someone like Jovic, but also he's a young, promising piece, only 22, 23 years of age. He's going to be in this league for a long, long time, and after the 3-year career up to this point, why would Miami ever want to move him for someone who's now getting closer and closer to expiring goods? Kevin Durant, I'm not doubting his scoring ability. I know he'll be able to score in bunches until the age of 60, but again, when you look at this, and someone like Jovic, who has roughly the same frame, 6'9", 6'10", long wingspan, the ability to stretch the floor. He's not the greatest defender, but because of the size and length, he still has abilities. Also, he can knock down a perimeter shot while also having the ability to facilitate and bring the ball up the floor while also having the ability to rebound. This was a home run, a slam dunk trade or signing, if you will, for this Miami Heat organization. And we got some top NBA insiders and analysts giving this signing for Miami and really Nikola Jovic himself high praise here. As on Heat Culture on Twitter, we all know and love them. Tim Bontemps loves the Nikola Jovic contract extension for Miami, as he went on to say, him next to Bam Adebayo, he's a perfect fit as a long-term for Miami. We will continue we can be talking about him easily in 3 to 4 months, if not by next season, as one of the better deals in the league. That is the end of the quote from Tim. Really do enjoy hearing this, as in the fact that he thinks that Miami jumped the gun in the best way possible, got ahead of all the major conversations that are going to start happening when Jovic goes out there and really outperforms the number in that last year of his deal, and the pressure would then be applied to Miami to go out there and break the bank to extend him. Rather, they go out there knowing what they have, having faith in this young man, they take care of him, and now he'll be a part of this Heat team for the next 4 seasons on a great price tag. And when he goes out there and plays at a high level, higher than we've seen up to this point in his 3-year career, everyone will be clapping for this Miami Heat organization, specifically the Harrisons and Pat Riley, for being smart enough and eager enough and having enough confidence and faith in the players they went out and drafted just years ago and maintained in their roster to go out and extend them before they require and demand so much more. So credit to the front office of Miami. And also, this just unlocks the Miami Heat and has Miami Heat fans fired up, because they know they can put faith in such a young man who's going to be a part of this team in successful fashion for the next handful of years. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next episode of Heat Digest.